But so have you been looking for new Phillies merch lately?
I actually have. I feel like I'm running low on t-shirts.
All right. Well, since you are, you and the other Phillies fans should head over to phillygoat.com to get your Philly Goat merch and use the code BTVPod for 10% off your next order. Beyond the Bank is proud to be an affiliate with Philly Goat, and as always, go Phils.
Beyond the Bank, we're talking baseball. Beyond the Bank, may we make takes, Beyond the Bank, Phillies fever, catch it now. Bleeding red is hell. Beyond the Bank.
And welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Bank Phillies podcast. I'm your host, Pete, along with my co-host, Henry. What is up, my guy?
We did it to the Mets again.
And deja vu,
man.
Call it deja vu, dog.
I hate them. Hate them.
I know. They're
Soto, Alvarez, Lindor. Well, not so much Lindor, but more so Soto and Alvarez.
Right. Yeah, it feels like deja vu, man. It was like a week ago, I think, we finished the series with them. So it's definitely a good time right now.
It's nice to know things are back where they should be.
Right, exactly. I'm glad to know that like we're kind of we're going along here. And dude, crazy thing. I mean, that was the first 3-game series win they've had at Citi Field against the Mets since 2021.
Well, going into Friday, it was a 10-game losing streak, correct?
I think, yeah.
That
dude.
2021 is crazy.
I know.
Wow.
It's really crazy, dude.
I just processed what. Wow.
Dude, it's a house of horrors there for this team, and we know that.
It's not as bad as the Giant Stadium, though.
It's very close. It's up there with it. So I mean, it's very close. Very close.
Definitely.
And then I think the stat you were trying to find in one-run games, what are they? 18-3 or something like that.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, 18-3, 18-6, something like that. But I mean, talk about nail biters, man.
And think about all the games. This is what I kind of want to get into too, with just the last week or so, probably in general.
Right.
How many games have they been down 1 run going into the 9th, and then they just come back?
Yeah.
Or going into the maybe bottom of the 7th. Or whatever. These late inning comebacks, it's kind of been their thing. It's not a great bit for my health, but
right.
But
I mean,
it's awesome.
But again though, this is something that we talked about earlier in the season, right? I mean, that we just came to realization that it's going to be a grind, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be blowouts and stuff like that. They're just going to have to learn to win these type of games. Because guess what, right? Come October, you might be playing some of these games like that. So I mean, you gotta get used to it, I guess, in that instance.
And having Duran, on the back end of that bullpen is unbelievable.
Dude,
which we'll get into,
Yeah, it's such a comfortable feeling. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now I will say
today I felt a little off.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the 3-1, 3-2 counts and stuff.
Well, that was his first walk since May 14th. I don't know if you heard them say it on the broadcast.
I did not. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
First walk since May 14th.
There you go. Well,
what
are you gonna do? What's called? But 5-2 road trip. So I would say a pretty successful one, and one that was very entertaining and very, like we said, nail biting. And but hey, you take it. So now we head back home. So, all right. So real quick, just overall preview of just the Mets series in general. We'll just get the takeaways right away. So if you just want to go ahead and get through your takeaways real quick.
Brandon Marsh's an all-star starter, and I don't know what we're going to have to do to make sure that happens. I think he'll end up getting it anyway, but we'll see. He's unbelievable. Today with the double down the line, he's clutch. And he's tearing the cover off the ball, but he doesn't even have to. It's the doubles, the singles. It's it's the sacrifice fly, all of it. He's playing phenomenal baseball. Baseball. My second one is Duran is automatic, which today I felt a little nervous. For whatever reason, I was like, he's coming to the game. I was like, something feels weird. Maybe we're going to be on the end of a comeback or something like that.
Right.
And my third takeaway is we need a fifth starter. Bad.
Yeah.
If we're gonna compete for a championship, that you need a fifth starter really, really bad.
Yeah. The thing about Marsh too, I mean, if you really look at the stats and stuff, I mean, even before today, I mean, he's been struggling against the Mets this year. I mean, even going back to the homestand last week, I mean, he didn't really do much, and then leading up to today, it wasn't doing much either. But I mean, it still goes to show that, like, you know, we know that he's an all-star, right? And that, like, obviously he's going to go through slumps, and that we know that, like, guys like him sometimes don't always maintain this type of success starting from the beginning of the season.
For sure.
So you're only just kind of saying, like, oh, damn, he's going through a slump, he's struggling a little bit. But then he proves you wrong and says, well, guess what? Like, I can come out of nowhere and be like, listen, I can still hit the ball, right? Like, it's not like it was like a one-time thing for like 1 or 2 months where it's like, oh, he's hitting the ball well, and now he's just dropped off.
Usually he goes into a slump too, like at some point, but haven't really seen it yet. Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. That's what I'm saying. But I mean, that's the thing though, right? I mean, and I think that plays a big part into like where they've gotten to now, like after the start that they had to the season, is like he plays a huge part in like being one of those guys to come up big in certain spots, even when, you know, Schwarber, I mean, I know he did stuff today, but if Schwarber or Harper weren't on the same page or not doing stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's the guy that can come through and get you a big hit, I feel like.
Absolutely. And, like, it's funny, like, when you hear them talk about the big three, like, all these people, all talking heads talk about the big three. It's not Schwarber, Harper, Turner. It's Schwarber, Harper, Marsh.
Right,
that to me is just so funny. Like,
right.
If you told me, like, 2-3 years ago, like, mid-2023, hey, by the way, in 3 years, Brandon Marsh will be an all-star starter, and he'll be one of the best three players in your team. Position players in your team. Like, you're on drugs. Like, you need to get you tested right away.
Exactly.
Like, no disrespect to him, but at the time, it just wasn't there.
Right, and I think we knew that, like, we've had discussions before, but, like, obviously it was going to take time with him. We didn't really know where to go with Marsh, right? Obviously, people were, like, hell-bent on it. And a lot of it may have had to do with the fact that he was always platooning half the time, right?
Yes.
And this is no shot at Rob Thompson or anything, but a lot of the time he was platooning Marsh and maybe just wasn't able to get the consistency that he's getting now, where he's almost an everyday starter for this team. So I think that, you know, also is a big reason why he's having the success that he's having right now too.
100%.
I mean, we can't forget that.
100%. 100%.
All right, so real quick, my takeaways. First one, just with your last one there, they need to solve the fifth starter issue. I totally agree. I think it's really,
I figured we were going to be. I figured that was going to be one of yours too.
It's a bad thing. And we go to Saturday's game, right? Like where they took the loss or whatever, and it went to show that, like, listen, okay, Tim Mason had him open again, which I'm still not the biggest fan of, and I
like it with Ron. I like it with Ron Hell.
No, I know. I'm not saying it's a bad thing with Ron Hell. I'm saying the fact of the matter is, like, I don't love, like, it's not something I want to keep seeing as we go along here. Like, it's, again, they just need to, like, figure that out. And then, listen, shout out to Ron Hell. I mean, he pitched a decent game. Like, if there's anybody out there that was mad with Ron Hell after Saturday's game, I don't know what to tell you, man.
I'm laughing because of when you texted me, you were like, hey, he's doing pretty well, and then they just blew it open.
Oh, dude, sometimes I just gotta, like, shut up, dude. Like, I'm like sitting there, and it's just like, I give one guy some credit, and he just absolutely falls apart. But again, I'm not putting much blame on him. So real quick, the stat line for him: he pitched 4 innings, gave up 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Now I will say the 4 earned runs was like at the end of that whole, like, you know, pitching process for him at the game. Like, it was like at that point he was struggling a little bit, so I get it. Yeah. But it just seemed like he was kind of getting tired a little bit. You know, he's one of those guys who's, I mean, don't expect him to go full like 6-7 innings, I feel like, and that's why they're in this spot to, you know, do an opener.
No, yeah. I mean, I wish Andrew Painter was working out for this year. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's not there this year.
We'll get to him in a little bit. Of course. All right, and then my second takeaway, and I'm being dead serious with this. I might have helped or saved Luzardo's season with the meet and greet last week. I'm just saying. I like to give myself some credit because I feel like ever since then he's been pitching pretty well the last 2 starts. So I mean, listen, his ERA is down to a 3.88. So listen, shout out to my boy, man. All I had to do was just, you know, a little meet and greet, get a photo with him. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
But on some real stuff, though, he has really looked good in the last 2 starts.
He has.
So.
No, you ain't lying there. I wasn't expecting that at all. Oh, God.
Just saying, man. Shout out to my boy, man. But yeah, even today though, like it was, he got lucky a lot today. I feel like.
Yeah, he did. He had a high pitch count.
He did. But I mean, like just the back-to-back innings where he kind of got in a jam, felt like he was getting trying to be a little too perfect or whatever, and just kind of sometimes I feel like he gets rushed a little bit, right?
Yes,
and like we talked about it before. It's like the whole like relaxed thing, and the other thing is too. I will say. He did it like once or twice, and they pointed out on the broadcast, like he quick pitched some hitters a little bit to where like the pitcher, like the batters had to step out of the box for a sec. But listen, I mean, if he does that a couple of times and it helps him, then so be it. So
yeah. If another pitcher did that to us, I would be furious.
Right. Well, yeah, we don't like it. If it's,
I would be furious.
Right.
Furious.
And then my last takeaway. And honestly, this can go for the series or just the road trip in general, just because of what they showed. But I feel like right now this team is in like there's some spots where it's a bend don't break, right?
Yeah.
Obviously it seems like they're on the verge of maybe blowing a game, or they're just it's just not their day. It feels like, but then they're right back into the game, making some comebacks, showing some heart, right? But again, bend don't break to where it's like, listen, you may be struggling a little bit, but let's figure out ways to get out of these situations, right? And I am very impressed with what they showed in the last week overall. It's just
absolutely
that type of motto, I feel like.
And I think that, no disrespect to Rob Thompson, I think Mattingly has something to do with that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I saw, you know what? I should have found it before he started, but there was a quote that came out with
from
Don
Brandon
Mattingly.
Marsh.
Yeah.
When he got fired, right?
Yeah. Do you know who like put it out there? What the quote was real quick.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, find it real quick, and I'll just.
It's a video. It's a video.
Okay. See, we're not gonna be able to hear it. But.
No, I know.
Okay.
Fritz reposted it.
Okay, gotcha.
And
this season with the firing of very popular manager
you hear
Rob
this?
Thompson, and they've taken off since. I went over to the Phillies side, and I spoke with Brandon Marsh, and just asked him what happened. What is the difference when you do get a spark from a managerial change? And what he said to me is, nice diving stop there by Beatty to keep it on the infield, but no play. What he said was that when that happened, it was almost as if it felt like the players got smacked in the face. That they loved Rob Thompson, and it wasn't his fault, and it just kind of woke them up. And he said that they then had a meeting with Don Mattingly, and Mattingly said to the group, listen, I am sick and tired of hearing nobody yelling in the dugout, no conversation in the clubhouse. I don't care who you are, what your name is. I need guys that are going to fight for me innings 1 through 9. And for Marsh, and he said for everybody else, it just really snapped them back into focus, fired them up, and they kind of decided to start playing with their hair on fire again, not worrying about things. They said, we lost 11 in a row. Who cares? Now, if we just play, let it all out, we lose 12 in a row, worst case scenario. And ever since then, it's changed the whole vibe over there, and they have taken off and gone on a run where now they're well in striking distance of the division.
So that's from Metsmerized Online.
The irony.
That's the thing. So that's why they brought it up. Was because the Mets broadcast was talking about Mendoza,
who got fired,
and yes, who got canned, by the way. Yeah. Wish he would have stayed for a couple of days, but whatever. That would have been nice. Yeah. But they were kind of trying to see what it could do. Mm-hmm. They were discussing maybe what a managerial change can really do, and that's what the whole point of that discussion was. Mm-hmm. And I guess I owe everybody an apology. I said it wouldn't matter, but clearly I was wrong.
For now,
yes. For now.
Right, you know what I'm saying? But like, no, it is when hearing that whole thing or whatever. And honestly, like, should I say that I expected that from Mattingly? Probably not. Just based off of how just because of how his demeanor is. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he's been a head coach before, whatever, for teams, whatever. It just hasn't gone great, whatever. He's had some success, but not a lot. But I don't know. It's just like, I don't want to say I was shocked, but I just was like, I was taken a little back by like, oh, like, okay, like, wow, like, so I guess you could say I'm shocked. But regardless, I'm saying it is great to hear something like that from him, in that situation where they're at, and especially to a team that has been together for years now, right? It's like it's not like he's stepping into this squad who just got put together, or it's a young team or whatever. I mean, there's some young guys, but I mean, for most of the core that is still here, it's like, wow, okay, like, we love Topper, yeah, but like he never really spoke like that. So then it's just like, let's maybe not have an ego right now, and let's listen to this guy maybe.
And I think that's really what it comes down to, is like Rob wouldn't say stuff like that, and Don Mattingly was probably like, I've been a star in this league, and I know, and I've been around stars in this league. We can't let these Schwarber, Harper, Turner, JT. I mean, if you want to say JT, you can, but like more so Harper and Schwarber, like you can't let those guys just do whatever they want.
Right.
Like, you got to understand, you're a part of this team just as much as the last guy on the bench. And he was like, I've been, he's definitely been around stars that think their shit doesn't stink. And it's detrimental to a clubhouse, you know? So I commend him for it. I'm not shocked at all, to be honest.
Yeah, I
just because he's an old school guy. That's the only reason why.
For sure. And I think I in some ways appreciate it just because of like where we were at that moment, to where it felt like everything was crumbling down, to where like you're thinking to yourself like, man, this is going to be a long summer, right? I mean, for him, somebody who wasn't really interested in being in this role, that almost felt like he got pushed into it in a way. I mean, obviously he accepted the role or whatever, but like for somebody who could have just went about their days and not have said anything and kind of just, took it day by day, just played the role kind of, but instead of saying, hey, you know what? Maybe this could work out. Maybe this could be good. And knowing that the ball players I have on this team, let me send that message, and then we could be on our way. I feel like is definitely something that I could see being that way. So definitely, it was definitely an interesting thing to hear by Don Mattingly. So all right, so the Mets suck. So we beat them. That was good. By the way, Mr. Met dancing in the background while they're talking about
that was
Mendoza is probably the biggest Met moment of all time, bro.
And he is just jamming. He's not. That was crazy. That was crazy. If that was us, man, I'd be like, fire everybody at NBC Sports Philly. Like I would. No.
Right. Yeah, it's
Fanatic, for Christ's sake. The Fanatic at least has some feel.
Right, exactly.
Jeez.
It's rough over there, man. It's
dude,
rough,
no. There's no way, man. There's no way. Nope.
Yeah. Just don't
I
put me in that position,
can't
please.
imagine how angry I would be.
I know. It'd be pretty heated. All right, so question of the day. And I'm not saying this is based off of just today's game, but I would say definitely look back at the week. There's some things that stuck out that were not the greatest, whatever. But so on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you trust the bullpen right now?
So I'm at about a solid 6.
Okay.
And I think it's just because they don't have, like, I don't know how to describe this. They don't have the depth, I guess you could say. Like,
okay,
you go Duran, Alvarado, Kirkring, and Bolin. Those are probably your 4 big ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then it drops. Like, it's just, it's Shugart, he's been decent. I'll give it to him. He had pause.
I listen, and I don't agree with the spot he was in today. I understand they were probably short-armed a little bit, but
I think they were.
He's got to be a guy who just eats innings if they're down by like 4 or 5 runs maybe, and just kind of get through. Like, you just can't. It's tough. You just can't put him in that spot, I feel like. So
right. So like, you have those top 4, like I said. Then you have Chase Shugart, who's like, he's like we just said, I think he's going to be decent. I think he's going to be okay. Then you have Seth Johnson, Kyle Backus, got out of some decent situations today. But then you got like Tim Mays. It's just that's not a bullpen of a World Series winning staff. It's just not.
Yeah. unfortunately, right now it's not. And I feel like right now they're just kind of coasting to feel like, oh, like we're just going to have to deal with this right now until the deadline, hopefully.
Right.
But I mean,
maybe Brad Keller looks different when he gets back. Who knows?
Yeah, I almost forgot about him. So
yeah, me too. Exactly. But
right.
but that's my exact point.
Right.
Like, if he's better when he comes back, all of a sudden you're in a little bit of a better spot. Like, when he looks like the guy who got that contract, all of a sudden it kind of flips it on its head a little bit. Not saying the season relies on Brad Keller, but
no, I know.
Not saying that.
Yeah, I would go. I'm at like probably like a 7, so I'm a step above you. I feel like, and I'm not saying like I'm like, oh, this bullpen's great. Like I'm not disregarding any of the problems. I understand it, but I will say, you know, when it comes to situations like today, right, when you look at how the game went, obviously, like, listen, at the end of the day, these guys they gotta show some balls, man. They gotta throw some strikes.
Yeah,
because I feel like a lot of it was just more of getting behind the count. Like we saw the Kirkering thing, which that whole bit of like him struggling and then locking in, it's gotta stop. Like it's gotta. We can't be doing that anymore. Like I
That's
just
Phillies baseball,
dude,
baby.
It's like he comes out, he gives him a hit, or he walks the first guy, and it's like, and then like gets in a bases loaded, and then just strikes the guys out. I mean, to be fair, terrible at bats, but nonetheless,
awful at bats.
Right.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I still like. There's still a part of me that feels like, listen, like you get through some of those, you know, you grind out some of those innings, right? And you also depend on the starting pitching to also give you maybe good enough 5-6 innings in the pitch count's not high to where you don't have to use some of those guys, right? Now, I know I'm not saying it's going to be like that all the time, but with the guys that we do have, that should be the situation where you at least go 5 full innings, you know, in the spot that he was at today, because the game before, again, you don't have a fifth starter, so you had to like run through half the bullpen. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like, so it's like it's one little problem, you know, creating another one type thing. Yeah. So I can't fully always put blame on the bullpen because there is times where they step up.
Well, we're just so used to it. Remember those terrible bullpens we had?
Exactly. Yeah. And you know, Duran makes a lot of things better for us too when it comes to the bullpen. So
he's an actual closer, unlike Craig Kimbrell.
Exactly. But anyway. All right, so real quick, let's just talk about him because you brought him up earlier. But Andrew Painter had a start today, and I think it was Lehigh Valley. Yep, AAA team. So
he's not going back down to Reading ever again. He'll probably just chilling.
So Jeff Kerr put out a tweet afterwards. He said the fastball command for Andrew Painter was there today. Had trouble locating the other pitches. Stat line was 4 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 2 hits, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. 80 pitches, 44 of them were strikes. And he says, still lots of work to do. Fastball looked to have more movement. So what do you kind of take away from that?
So, I mean, I was making facial expressions as you were reading.
Right.
The walks are what concern me a little bit. And saying that now he has control of the fastball, but now he doesn't command anything else. Like, you got to get the sweet spot, kid. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I feel bad for him. I do. Like, people are like, "Oh, well, we should have traded him. Should have traded him." You look correct right now, but in 6 months, when he's 6 months, I'm tripping. In like a year, when he's up here and he's doing decent, you can just shut up.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, like, I just feel bad. He's under so much pressure.
Yeah.
And partially that's because of the organization.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Because they're like,
he's under the microscope too, by like so much of the fan base.
Exactly, 100%. But I'm saying, like, if you look at it forget the fans. If you look at it from a strictly baseball perspective, this team's trying to win a championship with no fans, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I completely lost my. Oh no, I didn't. Everybody keeps saying like he's untradeable. That's going to lead other teams to be like, well, fuck him. We don't need him anyway then. Like, whatever. And then he comes up and he stinks it up. It's like, okay. Come on. I feel bad for the kid, man. Like, that's my main takeaway with Andrew Painter. I feel bad for him.
Yeah, I will say
it's the right move to set him down. I just feel bad.
Right. Just from reading this today, though, I would say it is good that like there was a little progress on the fastball. Like I think that right now, top of his list needs to be the main focus, right? Just
Absolutely.
getting the fastball, where it was at before. I'm not saying exactly where it was, I guess, but just somewhat more decent than what it was, these past couple of months, right? And obviously, the walks is a concern, right? Like, obviously, it just shows that, like, he's just not being able to use his secondary pitches, which is just obviously, like, not great. Like, you need to use that other arsenal that you have, right? You can't just, like, for him, he can't just be a 2-3 pitch pitcher. Like,
no.
I mean, if that's the case, if you want to be that type of pitcher, then you're gonna have to become a reliever. Then I guess, like, you ain't gonna be no starter, man. Like, you got to figure out other things. You got to use other pitches and get it down to a T. Because, I mean, listen, and that's the thing, right? The fastball, like, obviously that's the main focus. I mean, you got to get that down and controlled, because if not, I mean, you're cooked. I mean, and we saw it so far. So, like, obviously it's not there. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, though, only 1 earned run, so it's not like he was getting blasted out of the ballpark, like he was last couple of starts we with the team. So, it's definitely, like I said, he's going to be under the microscope the rest of the year into next year. So, no doubt about that. So, all right, real quick, moving off of some Phillies for a little bit. So, there was a report that came out about some of the league proposals in the next CBA. The other day, some new things that were added. So, per Jesse Rogers at ESPN, so some of them were max contract length of 5 years for free agents switching teams, 6 years for teams to retain their own players, no deferred contracts, qualifying offers gone, and 5 years to free agency for players 30 or older. There's some of the things that were proposed. So
all this does is make money for the owners. That's it.
Right.
That is takeaways. Like, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
It is terrible. I know that all their proposals are going to favor them, but I can't see a way where you could pitch this to a player and go, yeah, this is a good idea. You know Juan Soto, who just signed a 15-year contract? By all means, Juan, get your money. I'm not saying don't sign. With the Mets, you're a cornball. But outside of that, if you just stare at the player, if you sign with the Yankees, I'd feel the same way.
Yeah.
Get your money. Do what you got to do. I'm with the players, but what's it going to tell a guy like Gunnar Henderson, a guy like Adley Rutschman?
Yeah.
Like a guy like a Bobby Witt Jr. when his next contract's up, a guy like Ellie De La Cruz, a guy like when all their contracts are up, you guys are screwed. Connor Griffin. Well, he just signed that 8-year extension or whatever it was. Like, dude, there's just Skeens. You think Skeens is going to sign a 5-year deal somewhere? Yeah. He's going to get like 8 years and a lot of money. Like, you can't plausibly explain how from the league side can look at this and go, I think the players would be okay with this. Are you dumb? Like, that makes no sense. I don't get any of it. And it's just greed. That's what it boils down to. Like, we got 2 guys on our team right now, Harper and Turner. What's going to happen to them?
Yeah, putting a lock on years. Putting a lock on years is very it's not gonna happen. Like, I mean,
it's absurd.
Considering the contracts that we see in today's game, right? Even with our team, it's just like the year thing is just not gonna slide. Like, and that's the thing. I'm not saying this would be true, but I mean, if maybe they left some of the year stuff out of it, then maybe there's a possibility for like the other things, right? Like the no deferred contracts, right? I mean, that could be a possibility of
I don't
agreeing
think
on that.
Be a thing.
Yeah, I don't either. Like, I
think it's going to be a percentage, but I don't think they're going to be like, you cannot defer any money. Like, I don't think that's.
And I'm not saying this to obviously because the Dodgers stand out as being one of those teams that defer contracts. I'm not saying it just out of hate or despise, but if it was any team, I don't think the deferred contracts is the right way to go.
No, I agree.
It's not like one of those things. And the qualifying offer being gone, somebody in the comments said arbitration should frankly be the first to go if they want any of this or something like that. Yeah, so
that's true. But that's true.
Yeah.
And the league is going to say, like, and this all comes back to some of those analytical stats, in my opinion. Like, not all of this, but like arbitration and all that stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big league players that are like, if you want to really know what your team thinks about you, go to arbitration and see what happens. Try and get an extra $1 out of them and see what they say. Because all they're going to do is go, well, you're terrible here, terrible here, terrible here. Matter of fact, we're doing you a favor for having you on a team. Like that,
Right.
that honestly, like that's how it's going to end up. But it's just it's all, dude, these owners, I'm getting sick of these owners. I really am. And like, I'm not talking about John Middleton really, because like, I don't know what his stance is and who knows what it is. I don't know. This is a generalization, but these owners suck. Like, these owners suck.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate part about it too, right? Like, and we talked about it before, but like, I just think like the selfishness, I feel like, and the ego is really gonna like take over a lot of
the ego.
Yeah, it's gonna take over a lot of what this is gonna be about, right? And obviously, everybody's like, well, that's what's gonna lead to a lockout, and yeah, we're probably gonna lead to that. I understand that, I get it. Now, while I say I think they're gonna come to the conclusion and figure something out, yeah, I do. I still firmly believe that. I do. I
really.
Dude, I've been saying that since like before the season started. I do. Right.
To me, it's gotten worse.
I know it's gotten worse, but I just like, and I'm not saying they're gonna start on time, but I just still think there's gonna be a season. Like, I don't think it's gonna be a full season.
All right. I thought you meant they're gonna start on time. I was like,
no. I just still think there's gonna be a full season. So
okay.
I just don't think. Yeah, I don't know. It's, I mean, because here's the thing. At the end of the day, like, these are these guys' jobs too, though. Like, I understand a lot of it has to do with the money.
Man,
I know. I when I get into like
they're
the
not
small
exactly panhandling for money.
True.
That's how they're going to look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, Christ's sake, my work went on strike. We make like $40,000 a year.
Yeah, well, you got to do what you had to do, I guess. You know,
that's how it is with the players too.
To send a message. So, all right, real quick, I'm going to add this in here. I didn't even put this on the rundown, but just some recent reports of some players. You know, obviously, we're going to talk more about trade deadline, like more into July. Like, I'm not even like thinking about certain players yet, but I will say there was a report a couple days ago of two pitchers. Because obviously we're talking about the fifth starter situation. Between these two, if there was a possibility of getting both of them or just one of them, who would you go with? Would either be Sonny Gray or Joe Ryan between those two?
Sonny Gray.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No interest on Joe Ryan?
He's been a little too hurt for me. And Sonny Gray has traveled enough to where he knows what he's doing. I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
He's been good in each spot he's been in. So
right.
For at least a year. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, and
I know that was quick for you not even giving me that question beforehand, but I don't know.
And I'm guessing you're still out on the Chapman, right? Like you're not
I'm not that out, but I mean, like we texted earlier or like the other day, he'd have to come in the ninth or in the eighth, and Duran would have to come in the ninth. I don't think Duran comes in the eighth inning.
You think Chapman would accept that role though? To be real,
to win a chip, yeah. But if he doesn't, kick rocks like that. That's honest.
Yeah,
like,
right. Yeah.
But and frankly, whether I think he would do it or not, it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you don't like it, kick rocks. Don't come here then. I don't know what you want me to do.
Yeah.
And for the love of God, if we get him, please ask him beforehand if he'd be willing to come in the eighth or talk to his agent or something. Because I don't need a situation where he gets here and everybody's looking like, oh, I thought you asked him. I thought you asked him.
Right.
I thought you asked him. No, wait, this guy wants to come in the ninth?
Let's
what about
figure
the light
it out.
show?
Figure it out.
There goes the light show.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no. Well, and see, that's going to be the interesting part about it, right? If they go for a guy like him, is accepting the roles, right? And that's why I feel like, in a way, I don't think they go after him just because they know that, like, listen, we know that we have Duran in the ninth at least, and it's like we just need somebody who can, step up in the eighth, right? Because if that's not Kirkering, and if he keeps doing the bit that he keeps doing, that's not going to work. So let's see. You got to figure it out here, type of thing.
Well, the other thing is too. I thought about this when you had first texted me if we should get Chapman.
Okay.
I feel like the dazzle about Duran is none of our guys pitch like he does.
Right.
So he comes in and just blitzes you, and you're like, you're sitting there with your pants down, like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
He just cooks you.
Yeah.
But if Chapman throws in the eighth, guys go in the dugout like, listen, the heat's coming, but we'll be ready for it now.
Right.
Because you have to throw that ninth inning. You don't have a choice.
True.
I just.
True. And since we're on the topic of other players, I guess I should announce that the Phillies recently signed good old Tommy Pham to a minor league deal the other day.
He'll opt out.
Dude, I mean, I'm telling you right now,
He'll opt out.
I am not in any type of mood or have any type of energy to deal with this guy's bullshit. I'm not doing it.
Santana.
Dude.
Did you see that? Santana signed with the Braves. Dude, I put in my fantasy group chat, I was like, I will never forget. I thought, for whatever reason, I don't know why, I misspoke, and I was like, yeah, he was playing Fortnite in the clubhouse. And then I was going to send an article to everybody, and I was like, no, my bad. He smashed the TV that Fortnite was being played on.
Right. He wasn't happy with it being going on, so, yeah.
And then, of course, Jake Arrieta, good old Jake Arrieta, was like, "Oh, I don't think guys are doing it during the game." Okay, Jake.
As he's robbing us blind.
I was just about to say, as he's literally sticking a gun to our head, like, put the money in the bag. Like, okay, whatever, dude.
Yeah, I'm good on the Pham stuff. I'm not. Nah.
I'd rather have Buddy Kennedy.
Nah.
No.
Well,
you're out of your mind. Tommy
as a bench guy,
nutcase.
Sure, I guess. So I don't want
Tommy Pham's a nutcase.
No, he is, and that's the thing. There's been a lot of reports about him being a locker room cancer, and I'm not like.
Well, he punched Jock Peterson.
It's nuts,
over fantasy football.
It's nuts, dude.
And then, correct me if I'm wrong, when he was on the Pirates, he grabbed his junk towards the crowd.
That's so crazy.
He did his best Papelbon impression.
Right. Oh my god, dude. Dude, you know what's funny? See if I saw the clip the other day of like when him and Harper fought, and dude,
really?
Yeah, dude, I'll tell you, that man was just
he was ready to kill him.
Well, it's funny because like there was like the video showed of like Harper like getting like pulled away or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then like it cut the Papelbon again, and he's like got like a crazy look on his face, and then he just snaps out of it, and then he's just like sitting there regular. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Like you are cracked out, bro.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
It is, man. Jeez. Oh man,
that's what he was on, but good lord, that guy's a nutcase.
I will say
nobody hates Ruben Amaro more than him, though. Say that.
I will say though, with his walkout with us, that was.
What song
tough.
did he do?
It was Metallica, and I think it was Fade to Black, was it, or no?
Yeah, whatever.
I forget which one it was, but it was tough. I remember seeing it when I was younger at a game, and it was pretty exciting. But to say the least, that at that age I didn't know how crazy he was, and it is what it is. So, but fun thing to look back on. So, all right. So before we get out of here, do something a little fun. So on this day in Phillies history. I figured we'd bring this back a little bit. So I looked some things up, and it's really a popular one, I shall say, that people bring up a lot. But on this day in 2004, David Bell hits for the cycle during a 16-6 win over Montreal at Citizens Bank Park. A triple in the seventh completed the cycle, and he also drew a walk that day. So definitely, I mean, the last couple of years, we've seen a lot of players, obviously Harper last week hit for the cycle. But I mean, obviously when people think of, cycles in Phillies, people always think about, bring up David Bell too in 04. And how about that? I mean, against Montreal, the Expos and stuff. So that's a
neat.
That's a throwback there, man, I would say. So, definitely, one that's talked about a lot, I feel like, for the most part.
Definitely. For sure.
All right. So listen, real quick. I wanted to bring up with the standings or whatever. We're currently 4.5 games back still. We're 4 games out, I think, from the Braves.
What did the Braves do today?
They're playing the Giants right now, and they're currently losing 3-1 in the bottom of the 8th. So after that, right now we're 3.5 games back. So I think after this game,
so
we should be,
right.
Yeah, we should be either, I think, 3 or 2.5 or something like that. So
interesting.
Objects are closer than they appear. That's all I should say. So isn't it crazy?
Like Bryce said, watch out, we're coming.
Dude.
Oh.
Chills. Yeah. When he said that, crazy pause, but chills. Oh man, we gotta be more mature, but anyway. But yeah, so back at it tonight against the Pirates are in town for, I think it's a 4-game series.
Dude, did you see the pitching matchups for this next series?
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah. I think Skeens and Wheeler on Wednesday, so that should be pretty entertaining. I also noticed we're not we're on the road for 4th of July this year. Sucks that we're not at home again. So, but
every
whatever.
time, birthplace of America, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, you would think like for this year, especially with the All-Star game and stuff. So, oh yeah, and shout out to Schwarber, 30 home runs before July.
Bananas,
but
crazy.
Didn't get selected for DH in All-Star game.
Yeah, so. not the starter. God forbid. Have a whole country voting for you. Shove it up your ass.
You do know though that like he's gonna like they're still gonna bring them to the game. Like, I think him.
I'm aware, but still,
I know it's just the point. Like it's the being named like that is the whole thing. So I don't know.
Maybe they'll give him fuel. Who knows?
Right. All right. So we're thinking 3 or 4 from the Pirates, right? Or split. I mean,
I think split.
It won't be easy. They're a good team.
No,
they're scrappy, so.
They're a decent team this year.
Yeah, so we should
shout out Josh and the Bridge to Bucktober guys.
Okay, yeah, shout out
him and Jake.
Shout out them. All right, you got anything else though?
Nah, go Phils.
Go Phils. We're out of here. Peace.